We're going to deliver human-centered personalization strategies to truly drive conversions and meaningful connections. Okay, a lot of buzzwords we've been hearing all day. Today, though, I'm going to talk to my people who are personalization people. Who are my e-commerce or digital personalization people? Who monitors and manages a personalization tool today? Raise your hand if you're out there. Got it. Who are my rule-setting people who go in and set the rules for those digital experiences? Anybody? We got a couple. Okay. Well, you're still part of the team if you're a digital strategist to talk about this in your organizations, because this is near and dear to me as far as personalization, okay? So I have been in the industry for about 20 years. I've worked for BestBuy.com, Dick'sSportingGoods.com. Most recently, I was the VP of e-commerce at the Army and Air Force Exchange here in Dallas. The headquarters are here. APHIS, we are the military retailer. So I've worked for, and also Dickies.com. I've worked for both direct-to-consumer, public, private e-commerce sites, global. Retail has been a very interesting field the last few years. But what I'm excited to talk to you about today is how personalization is now at its next level from where it's been. So what are we going to learn? First, we're going to learn how to elevate digital personalization technology with the human connection factor. You know, in this summit like this, we hear a lot about human connection. Today, we're going to talk about truly in a personalization tool how to make that happen, because there's so many different techniques and digital strategies and in marketing to really connect with humans. So I'm not here to reiterate the point of that. We get it. It's how to do it is the point. Number two is how to optimize rule induction tactics and digital experiences and personalization with the right curated data approach and iterative testing environment. So a lot of what we talk about today is where we're at in e-commerce. We've grown. We know that. Tripled the amount of traffic because of the pandemic. And we're getting to $1.6 trillion as an industry here in the US alone. With that said, with that growth of e-commerce, the expectations for online customers have also increased as well. Customers are telling us, we want personalization. We've had personalization for over 15 years now. It's not brand new, right? I'm not here to tell you that personalization is the thing you need to have. It's the thing that you must do optimally. This survey from 2020 compared to 2022 survey from customers who said, hey, I need an affinity with the brand and products that I decide to do business with. A few of these to call out: the e-commerce experience or experience a company gives me is as important as its product or services. 80% of consumers in 2020 said that's important. In 2022, that lifted to 88%. So the expectations have increased in how customers really want to connect with us on a humanistic level. I expect companies to understand my unique needs and experiences. That went from 66% to 73% in 2022. I expect companies to anticipate my needs. 56% of consumers said that in 2020. It's now elevated to 62%. So why am I sharing all this? It's because we're not doing enough yet to still connect with all of our consumers. Now, we're not going to win with every single customer that comes to our website, but we can do a better job to connect with more of them and do things strategically to really optimize our digital experiences. But first, we're here at a digital summit, right? We hear all these buzzwords. Let's talk about them. Transformational, future-proof, technological, disruptive, big data, metaverse, automation, progressive. I mean, we hear all these things. We see them. We read blogs about it. But where are we at today? It's all about artificial intelligence. So the AI word of 2023 going to 2024. But if we're looking at personalization for what it's worth, we're not doing it optimally like we should be. And here's what I'm going to explain today. It's that if-then statement. If customers want digital personalized experiences, then why are more companies not doing it optimally is the question. Some businesses still struggle to do it. This is from 2022. 24% of firms reported they are effectively investing to omnichannel personalization, but department silos exist to execute it properly. So we're investing into it, right? Personalization is not a necessarily cheap investment. We're investing into it, but we're not using it optimally. We have problems in our organization to build a culture of what personalization even is. So for the sake of today's speech that I'm giving, it's about both culture change, it's about strategy planning, and it's about bringing in the consumer behavior principles that we learned in college really to the workplace now. Who took a consumer behavior class in college? Who's using those principles in their everyday tactics of digital marketing strategy? Who feels like there's a gap in the workplace to remember those consumer behavior principles to apply to digital marketing strategy? That's what I'm talking about. 43% of companies perceive accurate real-time customer data as the most difficult hurdle to the personalization efforts, and 67% of companies lack strategic direction or capability on how to even start digital personalization. These are from surveys and reports from 2021 and 2022. So pretty recent. First thing, ask yourself, where's your company at, right? Are you in a mature organization that truly understands and embraces digital personalization? Do you just have it? Did you just turn it on and allow the AI to do its thing, and then you think that's enough? That's the question I want you to ponder. Personalization is a business necessity now, not just an upgrade. Many know personalization is important, but for some businesses, it's still untapped territory. It sits on our website, but we're not using it to its optimal features and experience. Some businesses are already doing it, but not doing it optimally. Businesses who know they still need to do it don't know where to start, okay? We get in with our friends at Optimizely or Monetate, okay? And it's nothing about these companies. They're fantastic. Their tools are fantastic. I'm just picking on them as an example. Any of the AI technologies we use have a purpose. But if we don't know how to manage it from the start to strategic planning to execution to the follow-up performance review, we're not doing ourselves justice. Those who don't know where to start don't always start correctly. And what I mean by that is we turn it on and forget it. Challenges exist for digital personalization in businesses today. Lack of trust in the technology. So we're going to have the non-risk takers of our organizations tell us, no, I don't believe in this. Personalization is important, but we don't have to go as far as, out of the box. Just turn it on, let it do its thing. We're skepticism on results because, yes, there are metrics we track that maybe we don't believe in. Is it really paying off? Is it really working? There are strategy barriers. How do we build digital personalization as truly a DNA in our digital strategic planning, right? Not just as a one-off, not just as a nice to have, but a must have in everything we do, and truly doing what we always want to do, leveraging data to action. But finally, what's missing in this whole ingredients and framework is human connection. Human connection is where we're lacking, I think, in today's environment of using AI in our digital personalization. We're using the AI as it's the power weight. It's the thing that's going to change everything we do. But human connection is what we control, not the AI. But let's define human connection from our consumer behavior days and psychology of the customer. Human connection is an association that people experience when they feel seen, heard, understood, and valued as they are, right? We're not going to see our customers, but we're going to definitely understand them. We're going to feel for them. We're going to start building a relationship with them, right? So with that said, let's build that connection that builds trust between the individuals, or in this case, from the customer with their business, and give them a sense of belonging. I claim this quote. I don't know how to really claim it per se. I maybe get it published somewhere soon. Artificial intelligence does not replace human innovation. It augments the human connection, okay? This is the principle that I'm really kind of putting myself out there for the next couple of years as a thing, right? A mantra. Because if we're sitting here saying that artificial intelligence is going to do it for us and only for us, we're going to die, okay? Because our competitors, and we had other great speeches today, talk about that. We need to be the ones who are behind the AI. We need to augment the human connection with the AI. Use it as a tool, but not as a solution. So what does it all mean? Personalization is not a set it and forget it technology tool, okay? That's where some companies still struggle today. Now, there's some organizations who do it well. By show of hands, whoever in your organizations has marketing automation, who feels your marketing automation or personalization is up to par with your competitors? Anybody? Who feels there's a gap? We can be more optimal, okay? So yes, automate, but control it. The input of rules with sound consumer behavior modeling matters more than the metrics or test prescriptions. Here's what I mean. Bottoms up is where we need to get back to. Not just, wow, they bought this, so recommend that product again. Or they saw this, so show that product again. Those who bought this also bought that. Those are the traditional rules. We got to get deeper. We got to curate experiences to learn more about our customers. And that's the strategy we're going to talk about here in just a minute. Don't forget the fundamentals of assessing your customer's behavior. Go back to the basics of customer analysis. Data is only the fuel to the technology, not the solve, okay? The data is important, of course. We need to know their profile data. We need to know their behavior data. But let's build some psychographic data, right? Let's build some data around who they are, what they stand for, their values, their beliefs. But how do we do that if they're not filling out a form? You can do that. I'll talk about that in a minute. The human innovation to understand how to develop the human connection is the solve. If we can figure out as human innovators, digital strategists, how to connect the dots between what their preferences are based on what we look at, views, clicks, impressions, and also understand them as an ethos, their emotions, their psychology, then we're building a better connection with them. Let the machine learning accelerate, elevate, and produce. No doubt, let the machine learning do its thing. We have to. We can't market to millions of customers and personalize to everybody one-on-one. Excuse me, manually. Let the automation do its thing. Excuse me. Just getting over being sick, so I apologize. Be the human intelligence to fuel the artificial intelligence. Stand behind the artificial intelligence with your human intelligence. So how do we do it? We participate in the customer conversation. What I mean by this, let's build curated experiences, and I have some use cases as an example. You know, when we're online with our customers and all we're focused on is the taxonomy, the navigation, or the search, or the layout of the website, that's great. Those are the fundamentals, though. Get in there and talk to them with chatbots, with webinars, with curated experiences to learn from them in a two-way conversation. Ask questions and share relevant information that help build rapport, trust, and understanding, just like you're having a dialogue with me one-on-one, right? I want to know more about you, and I can learn more about you if I actually ask you specific questions. Be authentic when you be your authentic self in your brand, right? What you stand for as an organization, that needs to be communicated beyond just an advertisement. Make sure that's part of the DNA and how you interact with your customers online. But respect people's boundaries at the same point, just like you would in real life, okay? There's certain questions you wouldn't ask to go across that line. Through curated experiences come deeper data attributes on customer interests, behaviors, and preferences. So again, we have to curate the experience to build more data sets around them. Again, it goes back to the data. These personalization experiences only exist based on the data we have about our customers. What we need to do, though, in those conversations, and I'll give some examples again, how to do those conversations in a minute, is how to stay focused on the present. Know the now. What are your customers going through, okay? What is it in their time of day that they're living, the life and the day of your customer? What is the experience going on for them, around them, where they live? What does the political climate look like? Get outside of our bubble of our products and learn about our customer 360, right? For example, what is the number one thing bought with diapers at a grocery store? Anybody know? Good job. Alcohol. Who knew that? Raise your hand. It is beer. You knew that study. Good. Yes, very good. Well, okay. She didn't know the study, but she has bought diapers and alcohol recently. Yes, it makes sense. This study that was done just several years ago, a well-known Ivy League school did this study, merchandising study, and they're talking about how the wife calls the husband on the way home from work, honey, hey, we need diapers. Okay, I'll stop by on the way home. So what does he do? He grabs the diapers. He realizes he wants a six-pack of beer as well, because that's his mindset. That's what he's doing after work. He wants his beer, and he's out, so I might as well get it while I'm at the store getting diapers. It's a real study that was done, which goes to show you that we got to get out of our thought process that everything that's affinity in product marketing, that's an example, relates to each other. There are things that don't make sense that make sense to the customer, right? So why not, for an example, build an experience on your website in the diaper section of your e-commerce site and put a beer ad next to it. May not make sense, but it may make sense to that one customer or set of customers who are shopping that way. Why not mix the advertising a little bit and curate an experience for that guy who's going online to buy diapers to buy his beer as well? Get out of our comfort zone. Don't do things that are as traditional as we once thought as they were. So we move past surface level and we connect deeper, right? And that's just a very blanket example. Let's go deeper than that. Let's talk about the mom who's buying flu medicine online, CVS.com. But she's like, you know what? I'm going to be stuck at home all weekend. My kids are sick. I may get sick. I want to buy my bottle of wine too, right? So cross-market the flu medicine with the wine. That may seem like it's irresponsible, but it's not if we're building the curated personalization experience where we know that's going to happen, okay? But we show emotion and we're empathetic in our tone of communication. We're doing that, but we're saying politely to the mom, hey, we're sorry your kids are sick, but we want to make sure you still have a nice weekend. Here's your wine of choice. Use behavior triggers to your benefit. So understand the behavior triggers of your customer. So it goes back down to data. We can't limit ourselves to transactional data. Who knows what transactional data really even is? Sales, right? Product attributes. Maybe it's clicks, it's views. But what I'm talking about is further than that. Transactional data is all you're going to get and be able to use in the out-of-the-box rules of your personalization tools. And when I say e-commerce personalization, the same thing exists for your marketing automation tools. Those are where you need to plug in your transactional data. You have to have that, or you're not doing personalization. but you're not being optimal unless you build curated data. Optimization comes into place here with your rule setting. And with that, you build assumptions with qualitative CRM data standards of human connection. So we now get into the wants, needs, preferences. All your consumer behavior principles are now building this into your data modeling. But again, we need to figure out from a foundation of personalization, the optimization cycle has to be in play. Who feels like they have a strong marketing automation, personalization like process? Like it truly is nuts to bolts. It A to Z, it works every single time. Does anybody here have any challenges with personalization in their organization from beginning to end? This may look familiar. You know your data, you facilitate it, you put into you ingest that into your personalization tool, right? And it's the rules of the tool. And then you start getting in there and start playing around with it. What works, what doesn't work. Well, it's during that phase of what works and what doesn't work, you really need to understand how to optimize your experience, because what happens is we start doing the same thing over and over. We rinse and repeat. And maybe our metrics look good for a while, right? Conversion starts dying off, okay? Views, clicks, and impressions start dying off because we still rinse and repeat. What we don't do is go into the third stage here of build rules at a deeper than surface level. We get deeper understanding our customer psychology and behavior. From there, we can strategize and then experiment. From the fundamental perspective, though, we're doing all these things. We want to gather comprehensive data. We want to segment. Of course, this all happens in personalization. We build our goals. What do we want to do? We want to drive conversion. We want to elevate awareness, whatever that is. And we create the rules based on that. And we use really explicit rules for that purpose. If the user buys X, then show Y. And we test and measure. Those are just the fundamentals, though. But what we can do now is talk about how to get into the psyche of our customers through the rule induction process. So we need to embrace emotional intelligence. We need to figure out what is the ethos, again, the emotional appeal of our brand beyond just an advertisement. We need to get past the fact that we understand our customers' attitudes just because they clicked on an ad. We need to build an awareness of their perceptions even before they click on our ad. So craft content that sparks emotion and empathy. So it starts with content, and we'll talk about how to execute it. We need to tailor messages that offer and resonate with consumers' emotions and preferences that make them want to convert. This can translate into higher conversion rates for purchases, signups, or other desired actions. But craft contextual messaging, touch points before, during, and after their visit, okay? We have to remember the journey, as we've all heard about a lot today, is not linear. Through those nonlinear interactions, bring them back to the fold, bring them back to the website, and on the website, truly optimize it. It's on the website that we have our highest chance for conversion, okay? When we're on the website, build those dialogues. Make sure we're building enriched data through that communication with our customer. Take the time to build intelligence. Don't deploy it without that intelligence. Make sure we're using some sound information before we execute larger sets of personalization. Leverage chatbots as an example for more than service. Enrich the market research data on your customers through interactions. So here's one example. Chatbots are great for a purpose of accelerating, customer service issues. But why not use it as an experience to also elevate your relationships, okay? Now, we know that people's attention spans are minimal, okay? Chatbots should be an in and out kind of experience. But through that dialogue, you can train the AI of a chatbot to tell you more things about your customers. And I'll have an example of that in just a moment. Iterative refinement, though, but just like a relationship, innovate based on response and action. As you're having these dialogues through chatbots, virtual assistants, and other mechanisms, learn as you go. Tweak the AI based on the reactions that you're getting from your customers based off the questions you're asking them. And build that customer feedback loop, okay? Share the experiences of other customers in this process. Building a journey of connection, a better connection improves conversion. So case example one. One of my former partners worked for a major footwear online retailer. Can't disclose who they are. They didn't want that. But they had a segment of focus of fashion millennials. Their campaign was fall fashion. They used AI-powered conversations, their fashion friend chatbot. They were engaging millennials in personalized talk. So what they did is they obviously knew who their millennial audiences were. As a chatbot popped up, they figured out who that audience was based on who logged in, and they'd have personalized conversations. They'd actually would have the chatbot ask, hey, what styles do you like? What is this pair of shoes for? What kind of event are you going to? And through that conversation, they're able to understand the styles they like, the trends. We build more intelligence through this process. So this is where I'm talking about curating your data. You're building data about what the customer's attitudes are towards a certain brand, why they like certain types of shoes versus others, what is in the latest fashion that the company needs to understand through these curated conversations, okay? As we build AI conversations, the responses we get is now our data. Take that back to the fold and build better experiences. So the data fusion here is the merge CRM. We already have all that CRM data about our customer, all the campaign responsiveness, all the browsing data and purchase data. We have all that. That's where we start with personalization. But if I can build my own data set now, through these conversations, I've now optimized the opportunity for personalization. By doing this, they focus to those chat dialogues that, for an example, a customer might mention their love for sustainable fashion or a preference for comfortable yet trendy footwear. So now we can look at our product mix and figure out the products that make sense to fit that customer's attitudes towards sustainable fashion and trendy footwear and comfortable, right? Unless the customer tells us that directly, it's kind of hard to understand that. And this is where I think in digital marketing, we have that gap sometimes of assumptions, okay? Assumptions are fine. Clicks, views, browsing history, all that stuff gives us assumptions. But if we can get direct information through AI-driven conversations, we have it at our forefront. It's told to us up front. So they built adaptive recommendations, hyper-personalized shoe suggestions involved with these types of trends, as an example. So, excuse me, adaptive recommendations. They weren't just doing the out-of-the-box recommendations anymore. They were looking at truly building the history of data based on this conversation and building adaptive and iterative recommendations, which increased their conversion by 30%, their order value of 20%, and obviously boosted their loyalty and advocacy. What this means, though, is you have to continually refine, those chatbot kind of skills, okay? This is where the AI, we have to groom it, train it, but build our own kind of rule setting on top of what the out-of-the-box rule settings are, okay? And our partners at the Monetates and Optimized Leads of the world are going to partner with us on that. They're going to listen to us as clients or as customers of this and say, hey, look, what else can I build in the rule setting for you, for your particular customers that you're trying to understand? So I need to give you better segmentation capabilities to segment to sustainable fashion customers or the trendy footwear customers of a particular brand or whatever. We can do that together. So for this, they were given an industry recognition for pioneering emotive online retail experiences. Now, the second one, an online jewelry shop. One of my partners worked here as well at a online jewelry store, and he told me that they focused on jewelry enthusiasts and gift shoppers, okay? So what they did is they had a personal touch gemstone kind of webinar going on where they actually went out and had a Gem Genius webinar where they had real gem kind of experts come in and do webinars, one-on-one consultations with customers. You could sign up and have a jewelry consultant come on and talk to you online before you made your purchase. Kind of like going to an Apple, Genius bar. Same thing. Here, though, they were able to have a conversation one-on-one with consultants, learn about the gems and the history of them if they wanted to and all that fun stuff. But then they got down to details about the consultants asking questions back to the customers. Well, what does this mean to you? How does this make you feel? What gem, stone, jewelry item it's going to help you feel a certain way? And how do you want to feel? Is this for fun? Is this for a really, special occasion? Is it something that's going to be an heirloom, as an example? And the more you ask those types of questions through these types of interactions, we have data now, again, we can bring back to our product recommendations or personalization tools, right? We've curated now another experience. We've curated another set of data to learn more about our customers' attitudes, beliefs, and psychology, more than, again, what they browsed or clicked on in the past or purchased. We've actually built an experience also of interaction, which is great, okay? So this Gem Genius paid off for them. They were able to build out some strong AI-recommended products for customers. They actually went out to artisans and worked with certain artisans to make customized jewelry for some of their clients as well. But you wouldn't have done this unless you actually went out and built a webinar-type consultation strategy. They also built style preferences quizzes. They went out and built AI-generated quizzes for customers just to find out what else do they want to do with their types of jewelry. And then after that, they actually built a customized gemstone selector. On the top ones that customers selected over the course of these Gem Genius consultations, they actually built a customized set of jewelry to meet the needs of these customers. So with that, their human connection was there. They had direct messages and video calls with these jewelers, allowed for a collaborative design process, and added a layer of personalization of craftsmanship in every piece. They had a 35% increase in customer satisfaction, 25% increase in custom orders, and they just became renowned in the jewelry making process for curated experiences, which turned into curated orders, okay? And on top of that, too, they also were able to build more brand equity as well. But with that said, though, it's continual refinement. The thing is that the whole goal is, though, we can't just stop with what we know today. We have to keep going. So they continuously look at how to use their AI tools with these consultations and the information they get from these consultations back into their AI tools. So what do? We got to realize that e-commerce marketing is not just advertising, it's carrying the outbound hook all the way through the inbound website experience. Through that experience, though, we can't just stop and say the navigation and the search and the banners that we put up is enough. We got to figure out where in there can we build some curated experiences. How can I build an interaction that I can't get somewhere else to also be connected with the brand that I'm shopping with, but also for them to learn about me and we as a brand learning from them. Reimagine your e-commerce experience through the lens of the customer. What else would be interactive, fun even, right? And it may not immerse itself into a conversion right then and there, but build a consultation, build some type of interactive quiz, build something that allows customers to get in there and get dirty a little bit with your website. Ask, am I covering everything I can provide in convenience, communication, care, and capabilities for my website to the customer, right? Am I communicating with them not just, here's the product that you need because I have seen that you bought it before, or you viewed it before, here's why you need it, and here's what I want to learn about you in that communication process and actually get you a product that really meets your needs. Am I providing care in that experience too? Am I showing empathy? Am I showing sympathy? Am I showing that I understand you as a customer, period, beyond just you have interest in our product? Is there something you're going through in life possibly? Is there something at your life stage I can figure out through our interactions? But you have to do this, though, from a foundation of reinventing the company culture to do this. If your company culture does not embrace humanistic marketing, you can't do any of this. So I say get to that point first. Treat e-commerce as an experience, not just an advertising channel. And lastly, the 4 Ps of marketing are not enough anymore. I think we kind of get that, right? But we can elevate each one of the 4 Ps with these connection points I'm talking about. When we bring the online to the offline and vice versa, what we're doing is we're building that humanistic experience on a website without having to even see our customers ever in person. And I think we have examples in our everyday life where we have websites today that we still feel like are not up to date with that. They're just really good at advertising. They're just really good at, yes, we can find it on a search, but I don't feel like I'm connected with them on that humanistic level. Curate the data and optimize the experiences. You cannot know unless you try something out and curate those experiences. Obviously do that though through A/B testing, multivariate testing, but that has to be part of your digital strategy planning. You cannot do it as a one-off, as a maybe for this campaign or for the season that we're in with the peak business. You have to do this year round. You have to learn as you go. You can't just wait. You have to try. Speak to the consumer, not the brand. Embrace the technology. Use it. But fuel your human innovation behind it, okay? Don't set it and forget it. You have to be agile, though, and with speed. And obviously, you can do this with social media integration as well. The product and price is not the sole winner anymore. It's the connection behind the click that matters most. So with that said, build a journey of connection leading to conversion. I want to thank you guys very much. And if you get out there and try any of these personalization tactics on your website, start building curated experiences. Try it out. All you can do is see what happens. And at that point, you'll see if it pays off in metrics or not. But be patient with it. Curating experiences is like building a relationship, right? You're dating, you're courting, then you get married, then you have kids, then a family. Same thing has to happen here with these curated experiences. This is not a viral marketing type thing. This is a grooming process. This is a gradual strategy planning technique, but it has paid off in dividends for those who are patient, willing to test it, and not neglecting the fact that consumer behavior principles are here for a reason. We took that class in college for a reason. So I want to thank you guys so much. Reach out to me if you have anything you want to talk about, any experiences that you have done, examples. I'd love to learn if you've tried anything in the future. I've written a few books. I teach, by the way, at UTD and Dallas Baptist University here in town, so I'm a professor as well. Love teaching this stuff. So connect with me on LinkedIn and on my website. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.